Hello everyone, let us solve this question on board from bearing and distances in mathematics subject, all right? This question says A, B, and C are three ships. The bearing of A from B is 0.45 degrees. The bearing of C from A is 135 degrees. If AB equals to 8 kilometers and AC equals to 6 kilometers, what is the bearing of B from C? It's very easy to solve. Just pay attention, okay? Now, look at the question now. The questions, we have three ships here, okay? And these three ships, A take off from B. A take off from B. Let's say that this ship here, which is our B, this is ship B, okay, where A takes off from, because they say the bearing of A from B means that A takes off from B. Considering A when it takes off from B is 45 degrees. Now, in bearing and distances, we take our bearing clockwise. So taking it clockwise now, 45 is half of this because from here to here is 90 degrees. From here to here is 90 degrees. So 45 is half of it. That means half of this place is where A takes off from, meaning that here is 0.45 degrees, okay? And the distance it reaches before another ship takes off is 8 kilometers because it say A, B. So distance of 8 kilometers is what it has traveled before C now continue the journey. So the second part says the bearing of C from A. You know, A comes from here and reach here and stop. We now have our four cardinal points. We now have our four cardinal points, okay? Four cardinal points. This is point A. This is point A, okay? Now, they now say that the bearing of C from A is 135. Now, ship C, which is the third ship, takes off from A with the bearing of 135. Then remember, we have to take our bearing clockwise. From here to here is 90. From here to here is 180, okay? From here to here is 180, but it takes off, where it takes off is 135 degrees. So from here to here, 90, what do we add it to reach 135? It's 45. If you add 45 to 90, you get 135. So it's half of this one because half of this is 45, okay? So added 45 to the 90 is 135. So now the now takes off here at half of it. This time around, it only reach 6 kilometers. It said 6 AC, 6 kilometers. So this is our ship C now. Getting our four cardinal point. This is our ship C. From here to here is that 135 degrees. Okay. Now takes off to reach here. We now have our four cardinal points. This is point C ship. Okay. Now, what else? We have the distance of A to C is 6 kilometers. Now they will now ask us question, what is the bearing of B from C? This B from C, what is the bearing? Now we now have to close our diagram to form triangle, because most of the bearing and distances diagram ends up in triangle. Now let us close it to get our triangle in order for us to continue our drawing. So they now ask us now, what is the bearing of B from C? This B now, what is bearing from C? Meaning that it takes off from C. So the bearing is still our clockwise direction. It means if B takes off from C, what is the bearing? It's still, they are now asking us from here to here. This angle is what they're asking us. That's the bearing they are asking us. Now, if you look at this bearing they are asking us now, let us name it theta. Okay. Now, we can easily get it, but the problem is here. Because from this place to this place is 90. From here to here is 90. That is 180. Then from here to here is another 90, which is 270. But this line now is not up to here. So here is the problem. If we can get any angle, we can get this angle here. Let's name it X. This angle here. If you can get it now, then we can now find this one, because what we will now say now, from here to here is 270. We now subtract this X from 272. Now it has now given us the bearing of B from C. So that is the calculation we will do now, okay? So I want you to know something, that we have to make use of alternate angle or corresponding angle in this question, because it will now help us to get some of the angles. If you look at this line now, this straight line is parallel to this line, and this straight line is parallel to this line. They are all parallel. Considering this line and this line, which is parallel, they are parallel to each other, okay? You now see this line forms a transversal line, okay? Now, check it now. We will now have, since this line is parallel to this line, okay, we will now consider this alternate angle I'm going to show you now. Look at it. Move to this line and go down. This line form a kind of Z, which I was telling you when I was treating alternate angle. But if you see something like Z formation in parallel lines, it is alternate angle. The angle used to be alternate angle. So this thing now has formed alternate angle with here and here. Do you see that? Let me repeat it. See it. They have formed alternate angle here and here. So since here is 45, here will also be 45, okay? Please go and watch angles on a parallel line I have treated. You will understand what I mean. So now here is 45, okay? Then from here to here is 135. Remember that from here to here is 180, okay? So, and we have already gotten 135. The remaining one is 45. The remaining one to complete 180 is 45. So here is 45, here is 45, meaning that all this angle is 90 degrees. What is it telling us? It's now telling us that this triangle we have formed on this question is a right angle triangle. It's a right angle triangle. That means we can easily use trigonometric ratios in some of our findings here, all right? Now, okay, remember that why we are struggling here, or the solution we are looking for, in order for us to find this angle X to enable us get this, okay? Now, if you check another alternate angle here, this line is parallel to this one also. It's parallel, and this line has formed a transversal line to it, okay? So since it has formed a transversal line to these two parallel lines, you can now see that this angle here is alternate. Here, angle that is here is equal to angle that is here, okay? Look at it, alternate angle has been formed here. It formed a kind of letter Z. So angle here will be equal to angle here. Reason, alternate angle. Please check angles on the parallel lines I have treated on this channel or page, all right? Now, if we can get angle here, therefore we've gotten this one. How do we get it? We now get angle inside here. Let us name it A. We'll get angle inside here. Okay, we have already 45 here. And if we get angle here, we now add it to 45 here and subtract it from 90, okay? Because from here to here is 90 degrees, all right? So we'll now try and get this angle in order to get angle here. And the angle here will be equals to this. Now let us go. Now, we now use trigonometry. Since this triangle is right angle triangle, what do we use? I think we use tan. Tan says that tan of this angle here is equals to opposite to the angle. This side is opposite to this angle all over, adjacent to the angle. Here is adjacent to the angle. Here is opposite to the angle. So we now use tan A is equals to opposite, which is 6, all over adjacent, which is A. Okay, which will now give us 6 divided by 8 is what? 0.75. 0.75, okay. We will now find angle A by taking tan inverse of this place. Taking tan inverse of 0.75, we now have, making a subject of formula, A equals to tan inverse, A equals to tan inverse of 0.75. And the tan inverse of 0.75 will be what? 36.9 degrees. 36.9 degrees. So A here is 36.9 degrees. Let us find angle. Let's call this angle x2. Because angle here is equals to this one, so that it also be x. Finding angle x here, it will now be x equals to 90, because all of the angle is 90. 90 minus 45 plus 36.9, which will now give us what when we subtract? 8.1 degrees. So if here is 8.1 degrees, here is also 8.1 degrees. Therefore, the bearing of B from C, which we name theta, is equals to, from here to touch this line is 270 minus x, which is 8.1, equals to 261.9 degrees. Okay, so the bearing of B from C equals to 261.9 degrees. That is how to solve it, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to share, like, comment, follow or subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos. And I'll still treat many more on this topic. Thank you so much and God bless.